Welcome to The Explainer. You know, with AI absolutely everywhere, it's easy to get lost in the noise. So what's the one thing that separates great work from, well, just more work? It's taste. And today, we're going to dig into how using a little intentional constraint can turn all that digital chatter into something that actually matters.
So, let's dive right in with a problem that I bet sounds pretty familiar. Your team, maybe even just you, starts using AI, and suddenly, boom, there's this explosion of activity. Everyone looks super busy. But here's the question. Is all that busyness actually leading anywhere? Or are you just stuck in what we're calling the AI activity trap?
You know, this quote from designer Elizabeth Goodspeed, she just absolutely nails it. It's not the AI's fault, right? The problem is us. It's when we use these incredible tools with, let's be honest, kind of cliche or lazy goals. And what do you get? A flood of generic, forgettable stuff. It's all noise and almost no signal. And this is what leads to something called the activity bucket. It's like a company proudly saying, yep, we're all using AI. We're saving so much time. But then you look at the results, the actual value, and crickets. It never shows up. What you're left with is just this messy digital garage full of half-used tools and broken prompts. Lots of spinning wheels, but the car's not going anywhere.
So this really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? It's activity versus value. Activity is just, making stuff to prove you're doing AI. It's busy work. But value? That's about actually solving a real problem for a real person and doing it with a unique human perspective. The trap is getting stuck on that first one, thinking that just because you're busy, you're being effective.
Okay, so how do we get out of this trap? How do we stop spinning our wheels and actually start creating value? Well, the answer is this deeply human skill. And honestly, it's becoming the secret weapon in the age of AI. That skill? It's taste.
Now, when I say taste, let's be super clear. This isn't about being some kind of snob. Not at all. It's a really practical skill. It's about judgment. It's that human gut feeling that tells you, this could be better. Or, yeah, that feels right. Or even just, something's off here. It's something AI just can't do because it hasn't lived a life. It doesn't have our experiences to draw on.
And this quote just puts it perfectly. AI can show you a million possibilities, all the things that can be done. But taste is that little voice inside that tells you what should be done. It's judgment, yeah, but with a little bit of flair. So, what does this actually look like day to day? Well, for one, it's using AI to subtly help out, not to just crudely replace the person. Think about it. You're removing the annoying friction from a task, but you're not gutting its soul. You're using automation to actually enhance empathy, to make things more human, not less. Okay, so this idea of taste can feel a little abstract, right? So how do we make it real? How do we actually practice it? Well, we do it by treating constraint as a craft. I love this idea. Good taste is basically just having a little restraint in a really, really noisy room.
I know. The word constraints can sound kind of scary, like it's all about rules and red tape, but that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about smart boundaries, or what we'll call enabling constraints. Think of them as guardrails that just naturally guide you and your team toward healthier, more productive ways of working with AI.
And you can see the difference so clearly here. An enabling constraint is something like, hey, every time we build a new AI skill, it has to have a test case. See how that raises the quality for everybody? But a bureaucratic process is that classic, you need IT approval for every single little thing. And we all know what that does, right? It just crushes creativity and stops good ideas before they can even start. All right, so if you want to start practicing this craft of constraint, here is a super simple, super powerful tool. Just 3 questions to ask yourself every single time you think about using AI for a project. Just doing this consistently forces you to be intentional, to really think about not just what you're doing, but the much more important question, why?
Okay, now this is where it gets really interesting. A huge part of having good taste is knowing what not to do. It's about knowing which parts of your work you should intentionally protect from AI, the things you leave untouched.
And get this, sometimes the most powerful, most tasteful decision you can make is to not use AI at all. Seriously. Knowing when a quick, 5-line script you write yourself is a better solution than firing up some massive, complex model? That, right there, is the essence of good taste.
I mean, think about it. You get a handwritten thank you note in the mail. That feels different, right? It has a weight to it, an authenticity that an AI-generated email just doesn't. And that's what taste is all about. It's knowing when the human touch is the whole point and respecting that. It's a value that tech can't and frankly shouldn't try to replace.
So here's a really practical piece of advice. Before you jump to automate something, just watch. Watch your team. Watch the workflow. See where the human energy flows. Where's the passion, the pride? Find the soul of the task first, because if you do that, you'll avoid that classic mistake of automating away the very part of the job that people find meaningful.
You see, all of this completely reframes how we should think about AI. It's not about us being replaced. It's about us stepping into a new, and even more important, role.
So here it is. Here's your new job description. You are the central processing unit. Your real value isn't just knowing how to use the tool. It's being the final judge, the one who looks at the output, adds the missing context, and makes the critical call. You are the one guiding the machine, not the other way around.
And that means your most important skill is learning how to be demanding, to demand useful, high-quality work from the AI. Look, the goal is never going to be a perfect first draft from a machine. The goal is for you to guide it, to use your expertise to push back, to say, no, that's not quite right, and to keep refining until the output meets your standard. You become the quality control.
And through all of this, just remember this one simple, powerful rule of thumb. Start simple, build value. That's it. Fight that temptation to build some giant, over-engineered AI system from day one. You only add complexity when things are actually breaking. That way, you keep your focus where it always should be, on the results, not just the fancy process.
So if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's this. As AI gets smarter and smarter, our human taste, our judgment, it doesn't become less valuable, it becomes more valuable. It's the only thing that can filter through the endless possibilities to find real meaning. So the big question I want to leave you with isn't just, what can AI do for me? It's, as these tools get smarter, what will my taste demand of them?